application to get 0% APR on all 2020 and full vehicles. Only if you're looking to quit.
My Benefit Superfood Blend has me feeling super healthy with salmon, cranberries. Oh, here comes Superfood Wet with beef and pumpkin. It's like a superfood sundae on a Monday.
Benefit Superfood Blend. Try more of our recipes with no artificial preservatives. And that affects our customers 24/7.
Sorry I'm late, everybody, and apologies for my appearance.
You're fine. We were just talking about it.
I look like a wanted poster. I didn't have time to get my beard routine in this morning, so... What beard routine? Well, the key is maple nectar. Gives it that sheen.
Is there something wrong with my screen?
What are you talking about? You're right, Alan. We should be talking about bundling home and auto with Progressive, not this luscious mane of mine. Jenny, do you know what a beard is?
With this one little neck scarf chew comes the confidence you're doing what's right to protect your dog from fleas and ticks for a full month. And it's the only chew FDA approved to prevent infections that cause Lyme disease. Next Guard, what one little chew can do.
Whether it's rags to roll over or an overdue makeover. Get all your pet essentials right where you need them with curbside pickup at PetSmart. Just order online, drive up, check in, and pick up.
T-Mobile and Sprint have merged, and T-Mobile has a bigger and better network than ever before, with more towers, more engineers, and more coverage. Welcome to T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network.
Where does your almond milk come from?
Almond wheat starts here with our almond trees in our Blue Diamond Orchard in California. My parents' job is to look after them, and it's my job to test the product.
The best almonds make the best almond milk. Blue Diamond Almond Breeze.
Ever since I got this little guy, I felt like I was just constantly cleaning up his hair. Then I got my claws and it's super secret. It's a game changer. These heavy-duty dry cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. This is all you. We stopped cleaning and started to... I'm bad. You're stronger than you know. So strong. You power through chronic migraine. 15 or more headache or migraine days a month. One tough mother. You're bad enough for Botox. Botox has been preventing headaches and migraines before they even start for almost 10 years and is the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. Botox is for adults with chronic migraine. 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Go on with your bad self. You may pay as little as $0 for Botox. Ask your doctor about Botox for chronic migraine. You got this.
But who is USA's favorite Christmas? Clearly, it's me.
No, it's clearly me.
It's me. I am USA's favorite. It's me.
Christmas Fest. New season premieres tomorrow at 9 on USA. Set your DVR.
This guy's is with the sex. The fruit lady. His agent Torres plan on asking him a question. Problem. It's possible his aunt could ID our killer. Yes. Don't you think that warrants you being in the room? No. They swung at each other and connected. They got a history now. Torres needs to use that. I told him to take fish from Sloan. Find anything? Yeah, better look there, man. Look, man, I don't want to be here any more than you two. I got a boss. He's an old dude like yours. He's gonna make me stay here 2 hours plus. Minimum. But you're talking or not. You box, right? When you're out to swing like that, this hurt. Come on, man. I'm just trying to pass the time here. Plays off all day. Hit 1/3. Freddie's gym. I went there a couple times. You know, Freddie doesn't let just anybody in there. You gotta be good people. And if Papa's gets around, he's a weird kid. He must think you're all right. I trust Papa Freddie. Yo, Ray, just talk to me about your aunt so the both of us can get the hell out of here. checks. You know what I'm talking about. My aunt's checks. One of my customers left. Got some money in his will. Checks start coming after she moved. Where she moved to? But I needed the money, man. Pops is still paying me like it's 1950.
I don't care about the checks, man. I just need to know where your aunt is.
I don't know. I thought she was suing me or something. She didn't send you? What's her name?
Mary Smith. That was Gibbs on the phone, and the all hands on deck. Witness X is Mary Smith.
Oh, could she have a more common name?
We also know that she has annuity checks from Dawson Mutual coming to the home address of her nephew, Raymond Smith. Still, she might as well be Jane Doe. Okay, guys, less complaining and more finding.
Now you'd all want to know. Sloane's cabinet, definitely locked. I just helped her move to the other side of her office.
Hey, did she say anything about my feet when you went there?
Bishop, Sloan never said anything about you at all. Torres made up the whole thing about the werewolf.
What? Why?
No, because he likes to drive you crazy. Hey.
Okay, guys, I got a middle name. We found it on one of the annuity documents. Mary Elaine Smith. I'm going to search DMV. I've got government programs.
Thanks for credit cards.
Hop on the autopsy computer, check for death certificates.
All right, guys, we can do this. Let's find a current address.
Mr. Hicks, your testimony that on the evening of August 24th, 2006, you were staying at the Richardson's hunting cabin. To right?
Yes. I was young. I was traveling the country, writing, trying to find myself. The cabin was just one of the places I stopped along the way.
And the $1,000 in cash that you had in your possession when you were apprehended, you said you earned them doing odd jobs.
Yes.
Do you have any of your employers' names?
Not all. I'd work a day here and there for anyone who would hire me along the way.
You mean along your writing journey? While you weren't producing, in writing?
Objection. Asked and answered. Sustained.
Mr. Hicks, that money you had, you didn't earn that, did you?
Yes, I did.
No, you stole it. You stole it from Lieutenant O'Connell. It's what was left of his withdrawal.
Objection. Bothering.
You forced him into your van.
Objection.
You drag him in the forest.
Mr.
You
Gardner.
forest life, and you strike him so hard that it caves in his head.
Mr. Gardner, ask a question or shut it down.
Mr. Hicks, if what you say is true, you were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Simply in the wrong cabin at the wrong time with the wrong vehicle, the wrong amount of cash. That would make you the unluckiest man in the world, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Bishop, tell me something good.
We got witness X.
You got what? Name?
Mary Elaine Smith. She is alive and well. Tracked her location through Social Security.
You on your way to talk to him?
Get it.
Keep me posted.
My nephew was cashing the checks.
We'll get George out.
No, I don't want that. Poor kids have about as many breaks as I have. I didn't have enough to take care of them, so I left. But that's not why you're here, is it?
A man named Gabriel Hicks is being retried. Murder. You know what I'm talking about?
You want to know about the man I saw driving the blue van that day?
That's right.
I had a few oranges left, and I wanted to get rid of them so I could get home. The man in the van told me he wasn't interested. I offered a better price. He told me to walk away, or I'd regret it.
What do you look?
It was a long time ago, and I wouldn't know if I saw him. But I do know he was black and in his 40s.
You sure? Why didn't you tell someone?
I did. I figured he didn't believe me because I was just some lady selling fruit on the street.
We didn't believe you.
That FBI man, he tracked me down 11 years ago. And I told him exactly what I just told you.
What do you want me to say?
And you knew where she was 11 years ago when you talked to her.
Yeah, I to.
And you covered it up.
Because she was lying through her teeth. She would have created reasonable doubt about a guy that I know was guilty.
You didn't know a damn thing. I'm gonna cut 2, Gibbs. On you. You said yourself there's reasonable doubt. Guy takes one lefty swing and you want to throw the whole investigation out the window. You got an eyewitness saying it wasn't him. Mary Smith was threatened. Gibbs got her to say exactly what he needed her to. He scared her so bad, she's still lying for him. Happens all the time. Come on, Gibbs. A witness is so intimidated that they disappear. You know I'm right. I know about afterwards. Remember, Mason wasn't the only one to get a promotion off of all this. I was on his case for a year. I took Lieutenant O'Connell's mother to dinner every Sunday because he wasn't there to do it anymore. I promised her justice, and that's where I came. You expose this witness. It ends my career. And wait. But it's bigger than that. If you expose Mary Smith, a murderer was a serial killer. He spits out from his buried away. We can't try this anymore. We have blankets on. Glass. You didn't do the job. You never acted as judge and jury. Convicting him was not your fault, man. Hypocrite doesn't look good on you. Get up. Boys, get out.
Next, on the final night of the Great American Bash, bitter rivals Mia Yim and Candice LeRae take it to the streets. And a huge champion versus champion main event. Undisputed NXT champion Adam Cole, the limitless North American champion Keith Lee, who will walk out of the Great American Bash with the NXT and North American championships. NXT Next, USA.
Today started like any other day. You got up, showered, brushed your teeth, you got in your Celtics, and took a short drive through the desert. Wonder what people without all-wheel drive capability are doing right now. Introducing the all-new Celtics.
Motorcycle riders love the open road, and Geico loves helping riders get to where they're going. So to help even more, Geico is giving new and current customers a 15% credit on their motorcycle policies with the Geico gift card. And because we're committed for the long haul, the credit will last your whole policy term. The Geico gift card, helping riders focus on the road ahead.
Adam Cole versus Keith Lee, champion versus champion, winner take all. Welcome to WWE NXT Great American Bash and AEW Fyter Fest Night 2 live reactions. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron and Gridiron 18. Myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96 on social media. As always, links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share on social media. Hashtag WWE, hashtag AEW. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated as well. The big main event of the evening will in fact be Adam Cole, your NXT champion, defending against Keith Lee, your NXT North American champion, in a champion versus champion, winner take all. Yes, there are spoilers out there. I honestly have no clue on what will in fact happen, though. I did not read any of those spoilers. However, there is a rumor floating around that in AEW on Fyter Fest Night 2 this evening, now with AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Jon Moxley, Brian Cage match next week at AEW Fight for the Fallen, 1 week from tonight, July the 15th, AEW will have another TNT Championship match tonight during night 2 of Fyter Fest. So we'll have to find out and see how true that is. We do know, though, that we will have 5 matches apiece for both NXT Great American Bash and AEW Fyter Fest this evening. NXT, as mentioned, that is where the spotlight is this evening with Adam Cole and Keith Lee. We'll start there and then move on over to Fyter Fest for night 2 of both respective shows, and then AEW one up next week as well with Fight for the Fallen. And then a week from Sunday, WWE will have the horror show at Extreme Rules. We'll go over that later on this evening as well. So NXT Great American Bash, highlighted, main evented by Adam Cole, Keith Lee, champion versus champion, winner take all. Someone will become the first ever NXT and NXT North American champion at the same time in a few short hours. Will it be Adam Cole? Will it be Keith Lee? We'll have to find out. Also tonight, Johnny Gargano will face off versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. We'll have a 6-man tag team match along with Mercedes Martinez's return, along with a Mia Yim, Candice LeRae street fight. Could very well have Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes as well. We'll find out and see about that, as Priest last week on NXT cut a promo as he is in a feud right now with Cameron Grimes, the formerly known Trevor Lee in TNA Impact. A week from Saturday, hopefully everyone had a happy 4th of July this past Saturday. A week from this upcoming Saturday, though, TNA will have Slammiversary. They will crown a new TNA World Heavyweight Champion after Tessa Blanchard was fired. She is a free agent right now, as mentioned last week. If not, one of the hottest free agents in all professional wrestling right now. Will she choose WWE? Will WWE choose her? Will she choose AEW? Will AEW choose her? We'll have to find out and see over the course of the next few weeks and months to come. So Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano, Isaiah Swerve Scott match was just added the other day as thought. I said last week, very well could have a match added for Great American Bash Night 2 next week. That was the match, Johnny Gargano, Isaiah Swerve Scott. We'll see what they do with Tommaso Ciampa and Karrion Kross, along with the Velveteen Dream. I have some ideas, and I'll go over those throughout the evening as well. It all depends on what happens this evening at Great American Bash and Fyter Fest for all elite wrestling. So Gargano, Swerve Scott, that should be a good match, I would think. Mercedes Martinez once again making her return. So 2 women's matches in NXT with Mia Yim and Candice LeRae as well in a street fight. And then Nyla Rose will be in action for AEW. I would assume against a jobber. Find out and see a 6-man tag as well, along with Adam Cole and Keith Lee. Champion versus champion. Winner take all. Last week, main TV had AEW Fyter Fest on. This week, main TV, WWE NXT Great American Bash. Try to split it down the middle. Give credit where credit's due. Even it out. So the second TV will, in fact, as it was last week, NXT Great American Bash. This evening, AEW Fyter Fest. AEW Fyter Fest Night 2 was supposed to have the Jon Moxley, Brian Cage, AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. However, Moxley, with his wife Renee Young in the WWE, contracting coronavirus, 2-week quarantine for Mox. They pushed back the Moxley Cage match for Fight for the Fallen a week from tonight. I will have live reactions, AEW Fyter Fest and WWE NXT next Wednesday as well, July the 15th. So be sure to tune in. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media as always. Links in the description below. Hit the thumbs up button, share on social media as well, along with, if you have a chat question or comment, be sure to drop it in the chat comment section below. Jon Moxley, Brian Cage, that'll be next week. However, this evening, rumor floating around, as mentioned just a moment ago, AEW will put on another TNT Championship match with Cody Rhodes in an open challenge defending against, we'll find out and see this evening, during Fyter Fest. However, Taz has a big, huge announcement for AEW Fyter Fest Night 2 this evening. Have no idea what that entails. Could very well mean something for the match next week at Fight for the Fallen. Only time's going to tell, though. We'll find out and see. So Taz with a big, huge announcement tonight at Fyter Fest. So instead of Moxley, Cage, Taz, we're going to try to reconnect here. Hopefully everyone can hear me loud and clear. Having some technical difficulties on my end. Don't know if what I just said picked up at all, so I just stopped, because as mentioned a month ago, I did this for NXT TakeOver in Your House and WWE Backlash. Don't know why it does it, but it buffers, disconnects. I have to reconnect, work the kinks out, and it seems like we're good. As mentioned, it seems like everything's all fine and dandy, so we'll continue on. So also tonight for AEW Fyter Fest, it'll be Le Champion Chris Jericho and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Somebody's either going to be drinking a little bit of bubbly or a little bit of orange juice after Fyter Fest this evening. I would think that match is either going to kick off the show, be at 9 o'clock, or the main event of the evening. Also tonight, AEW Fyter Fest Night 2. Brody Lee of the Dark Order will team up with Stu Grayson of the Dark Order as well. So it's the Dark Order with Colt Cabana, who's in AEW now. Colt Cabana is All In with All Elite Wrestling. 6-man tag, so 2 6-man tags tonight actually. One in NXT, one in AEW. Dark Order versus SoCal Uncensored SCU. Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. As mentioned last week, good to see the three of them all back together. Lance Archer, Joey Janela this evening as well for AEW Fyter Fest, along with Nyla Rose in action, as mentioned. So 2 women jobber matches basically, with Mercedes Martinez returning and then Nyla Rose in action. And then FTR and the Young Bucks, formerly known as the Revival, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wilder. FTR, F the rest. Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, Too Sweet, versus the Butcher and the Blade, along with the returning Lucha Brothers in AEW. So AEW Fyter Fest, WWE NXT Great American Bash. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Should be a hell of a show for both companies. Let's find out and see what Taz's big announcement is. Have an idea, but you never know what's going to come out of Taz's mouth, especially on live television. However, both NXT Great American Bash and Fyter Fest this evening were pre-taped last week after night 1 after night 1 of both NXT Great American Bash and Fyter Fest. So now night 2 this evening. As mentioned, a week from Saturday actually, we'll begin their TNA Slammiversary, and then the next night, July the 19th, a week from Sunday then, WWE, the horror show at Extreme Rules. We'll go over that card later on this evening, and then we'll talk NXT and AEW throughout the night as well during Great American Bash and Fyter Fest. And then after Fyter Fest this evening, we'll get to witness the first ever AEW Puppy Battle Royal on AEW's YouTube channel. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share on social media. Hashtag WWE. Hashtag AEW. It's Fyter Fest and Great American Bash Night 2. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Chat, questions, and comments. Always greatly appreciated. Then, now, WWE Forever. NXT Connect here. As I try to reconnect here once again, sorry for any technical difficulties. Once again, we're live in Jacksonville for AEW Fyter Fest. We're live in Orlando at the WWE Performance Center for NXT Great American Bash. As I was saying, AEW previewing all the matches for tonight's Fyter Fest Night 2 event, we also have another AEW World Tag Team Championship match as well with Private Party. After they won their tag team match last week against Santana and Ortiz, back at Double or Nothing, they defeated Best Friends, who, Best Friends, there's Matt Hardy as well. Best Friends lost to Private Party, or excuse me, they defeated Private Party at Double or Nothing. NXT Great American Bash now, hashtag NXT GAB. What match will kick off night 2 of the Bash? Mauro Ranallo, Beth Phoenix, Tom Phillips on the call. And the street fight with Mia Yim and Candice LeRae will kick things off for NXT Great American Bash. As I was saying before I got interrupted by the connection, we have another AEW World Tag Team Championship match this evening at Fyter Fest. Last week, Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega, they defeated Best Friends. Now, we backtrack a little over a month ago now. Best Friends defeated Private Party, who's now facing off tonight against Hangman and Omega for the titles. Best Friends defeated Private Party at Double or Nothing, earned their championship match at Fyter Fest last week in a losing effort. Private Party then, with Matt Hardy, that match last week would have been a 6-man tag, however, Sammy Guevara was suspended. Private Party defeated Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle. So with Private Party picking up the win, they then announced Private Party would face the winner of Hangman Omega and Best Friends, which was won by Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. So now kicking things off, night 2 AEW Fyter Fest. It's Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page versus Private Party. Street fight, as well as mentioned, with Mia Yim and Candice LeRae. The big dog joins us as well. I know he's very, very excited for the first ever AEW Puppy Battle Royal that'll be after Fyter Fest, as far as I know, as mentioned a little bit ago, on AEW's YouTube channel. So be sure to stay with us for the next 2 hours or so for live reactions, play-by-play of night 2 of both AEW Fyter Fest and WWE NXT Great American Bash. Mia Yim going to town on Candice LeRae with a kendo stick. There's a couple of steel chairs in the ring, a garbage can as well. Mia Yim with the lid of that garbage can now. This goes back to the Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano feud for the NXT North American Championship at NXT TakeOver in Your House a month ago yesterday. Hard to believe that's been a month already. But time sure does fly. This time next week, it'll be a month since WWE Backlash. And a week from now, we'll have AEW Fight for the Fallen, TNA Slammiversary, and WWE The Horror Show Extreme Rules before we'll be on the road to SummerSlam. But this match, these two were actually in a fatal 4-way last week. That was won by Tegan Nox. She is now your new #1 contender for Io Shirai's NXT Women's Championship. But however, this goes back to when Keith Lee defeated Johnny Gargano to remain NXT North American Champion. Mia Yim in a relationship with Keith Lee. Candice LeRae married to Johnny Gargano. However, now tonight, as they advertised down in the bottom right-hand corner as well, champion versus champion, winner take all. It's Adam Cole, your NXT champion, versus Keith Lee, your NXT North American champion. That'll be the main event of the evening. Hopefully they give that match enough time so both superstars can showcase their talents during night 2 this evening of NXT The Great American Bash. The first bash in nearly a decade in the WWE. Second ever Fyter Fest on cable television this year as well, as Fyter Fest is normally pay-per-view for All Elite Wrestling. End of June, early July. This is following, Double or Nothing, as we'll have Fyter Fest continue on here. Hangman and Omega chops to Private Party to the chest and back of Private Party. This is the opening contest for AEW Fyter Fest. Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega versus Private Party and Mia Yim, Candice LeRae Street Fight. NXT Great American Bash if you're just now tuning in. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated as well. Cover Kick Out at 2 by Private Party. Now next week, as mentioned as well, Fight for the Fallen, main event of that show. Unless they make another move and change the match once again, it'll be Jon Moxley defending his AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Brian Cage, who debuted at Double or Nothing, won the Casino ladder match, earned his chip. He's cashing in. However, has to wait another week. So that'll be next week at Fight for the Fallen. And then WWE, the horror show at Extreme Rules, the 4 main matches, along with the 2 women's matches with Asuka and Sasha Banks and Bayley, Nikki Cross. The 4 main matches, and really this is all that's been announced so far. We very well could have a few more by the end of next weekend. Keep an eye out for my Extreme Rules preview predictions, and be sure to tune in for AEW Fight for the Fallen live reactions a week from tonight, next Wednesday night, July the 15th, and then a week from Sunday as well for WWE, the horror show at Extreme Rules, with the new, freshly designed logo and the new name as well. The horror show at Extreme Rules, as they are changing things up once again with another pay-per-view. Now Mia Yim and Candice LeRae fighting over, by looks of it, by the concession area, as there's some apples and oranges, a few bananas as well. There's a tray. Mia Yim just got hit over the back with that. There's some red Solo cups as well. Street fight, anything goes. No countouts, no disqualifications. Pinfall or submission. Now it looks like somebody's going to go through a table. Mara now, Beth Phoenix, along with Tom Phillips on the call once again for Great American Bash. There are a few fans in attendance for both of these events this evening, as it's basically friends and family of NXT and AEW superstars. Suplex from Omega. Another suplex from Omega. Fire extinguisher used in the street fight. But at the horror show Extreme Rules, we'll have Drew McIntyre defend his WWE. Share using the hashtag WWE and AEW. Split screen commercial now for NXT Great American Bash. Once again, sorry for any technical difficulties. Buffering, reconnecting. Did this about a month ago, as mentioned earlier, during NXT TakeOver in Your House and WWE Backlash. But at the horror show Extreme Rules, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, WWE Championship match. We'll find out the stipulation at Extreme Rules. So that is to be determined. Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio as well. Eye for an eye match. AEW actually did this back in February. So WWE, as it's a copycat league the whole way around for any sport anymore, WWE is going to run an eye for an eye match at the horror show Extreme Rules with the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, and the little big man himself, Mr. 619, Rey Mysterio. The new United States Championship will be up for grabs as well. Apollo Crews, your current champion, defending against Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP. And whoever wins that match will be awarded the new United States Championship. That does look a little bit better than what they've used the past 15 or so years. However, I did see an image earlier this afternoon that was a little bit better that I would rather have, but obviously we won't get that, so we'll have to live with it one way or another. That match right now, I see MVP winning, and then Lashley turning on MVP come SummerSlam. Bobby Lashley becomes United States Champion. So a month and a half before SummerSlam there, I said it, Bobby Lashley, I do believe. That's an early prediction. Do believe will become U.S. champ at SummerSlam. And then we're going to go down the swamp as well. It'll be the first ever Wyatt swamp fight match with the monster among men, Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, before we'll get a Universal Championship match between the two at SummerSlam, as this swamp fight match will in fact be a non-title match. So Horror Show Extreme Rules a week from Sunday. However, this evening, as they advertise during Fyter Fest, still to come, Taz's major. It's a major announcement now. Taz has a big, huge, major announcement now. Tonight during night 2 of Fyter Fest, back to the action, Great American Bash as well, with Mia Yim and Candice LeRae. There's still a table set up in the one corner of the ring as well, standing up. Somebody's going to be going through that, I would think. But tonight, this evening, as mentioned, night 2 of both NXT Great American Bash and AEW Fyter Fest. Still a AEW as Kenny Omega gets taken out ringside. Going on right now, AEW World Tag Team Championship match with Omega and Page against Private Party, and the street fight with Mia Yim and Candice LeRae. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions, play-by-play of both events, WWE NXT Great American Bash and AEW Fyter Fest. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cohan Luke 96. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit the thumbs up button. Share on social media. Hashtag WWE. Hashtag AEW. Chat questions and comments. Always greatly appreciated as well. And be sure to tune in a week from tonight and a week from Sunday as well for AEW Fight for the Fallen and WWE The Horror Show at Extreme Rules. Candice LeRae with that lid of the garbage can going to town on Mia Yim. We'll have to see if we get either Gargano or Lee coming out. I would doubt it, just because they both have matches later on this evening. As mentioned, Gargano versus Isaiah Swerve Scott and Keith Lee, along with Adam Cole, looking to become double champions. And the first ever NXT and NXT North American champion at the same time. Later on tonight in the champion versus champion winner-take-all main event. Mia Yim with a vertical suplex on Candice LeRae, right next to one of the steel chairs. There's a big steel chair piled down in the middle of the ring with a garbage can and a kendo stick. They moved the table and put it up on the top turnbuckle, going side to side. And Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega, in the meantime, defeat Private Party and retain their AEW World Tag Team Championships. Get the volume turned up on TV number 2, as I just realized the volume was off. Matt Hardy checking in on Private Party. And we'll now go back to good old JR, Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone on commentary. And JR making sure everyone wears their mask Later on tonight, Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. That'll be one hell of a match as well, I would think. Nyla Rose still in action tonight. Don't know who her opponent is. Candice LeRae just got put in a garbage can and knocked all around. Cover, kick out at 2. Dark Order SCU as well. Brody Lee, Stu Grayson, Colt Cabana, Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. Young Bucks, FTR, Butcher and Blade, along with the Lucha Brothers. Question of the day today on Gridiron Ring's Facebook and Twitter page as well. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Gridiron Ring, Gridiron 18, Cool and Luke 96. That's me, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, on social media. Links in the description below. Question of the day: who's going to win the NXT main event for Great American Bash later on this evening? NXT North American Champion. And see where the technical difficulties begin and where they end as I have to reconnect, as it seems like it's getting disconnected. Don't know why. Wi-Fi seems to be doing just fine. It seems like it's good on my end once again, so we're going to roll with NXT Great American Bash and AEW Fyter Fest. We head to a commercial break for Fyter Fest. Street fight still going on with Mia Yim and Candice LeRae once again. So AEW going to go to their second match of the evening once they return. Lance Archer and Joey Janela this evening as well, as they were previewing before the commercial break the remaining matches for tonight. Now both Mia Yim and Candice LeRae standing on top of the table, and then Candice LeRae, jeez, cover 1, 2, 3. Candice LeRae defeats Mia Yim in the opening contest of NXT Great American Bash Night 2 this evening. They jump off the table that's on the top turnbuckle in the corner. And Mia Yim takes down Mia Yim. Candice LeRae takes down Mia Yim on top of all those chairs set up in the middle of the ring. Arm for the cover, 1, 2, 3. Candice LeRae with the win. Good match for the street fight. Good match for the street fight that kicked things off this evening for NXT Great American Bash. We saw some fruit involved, of all things, along with a fire extinguisher. Candice LeRae went through a table, was stuck in a garbage can before Mia Yim went cannonball in the corner, but off the top of the turnbuckle, off the top rope, on top of the ladder that was set up, as Mia Yim had brass knuckles actually too. Candice took those and then off the top of the ladder. Candice LeRae with a neck breaker. Cover 1, 2, 3 on top of the steel chairs in the middle of the ring. Both are still down and out. Candice LeRae with the win, 1, 2, 3. So Candice LeRae defeated Mia Yim to kick things off for NXT Great American Bash Night 2. AEW Fyter Fest coming back here in a second. Now it seems like we got some Hall of Famers weighing in as they did for the greatest wrestling match ever, with Edge and Randy Orton for Adam Cole, Keith Lee later on tonight. As Mark Henry has his thoughts. And Mark Henry going with Keith Lee. Keith Lee, a very, very younger version of Mark Henry. Sky is still the limit, though, for both. Coming up next, though, AEW Fyter Fest. It'll be the Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer and the Bad Boy Joey Janela in singles competition. Up next, though, Great American Bash. Another match added, actually. It'll be Bronson Reed and Tony Nese. So no Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes. We're going to hold off on that. It'll be Bronson against Tony. And that's brought to you by Shaq with his new pizza company. Joey Janela and the Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer with the great, and Lance Archer has Sonny Kiss on his shoulders, throws Sonny Kiss onto Joey Janela, the great Jake the Snake Roberts by Lance Archer's side as well, and he's got a bag in his hand, and I can guarantee you there's going to be something in that bag that some people are going to like, but some people aren't going to like. And Jake the Snake, he's going to have a snake here tonight, it looks like, Fyter Fest. Bell rings, match underway. It's Lance Archer, Joey Janela. This looks like it's going to be a squash match. Lance Archer in full control here early on, egging on the crowd. It looks like Archer's gonna win this. And then Joey Janela's gonna get snake bit by Jake the Snake that he brought out to the ring as well. By the looks of it, at least. As he did bring his luggage with him this evening. They've only used that as we have AEW Dark results now at the bottom of the screen. NXT Great American Bash split screen commercial. Mia Yim and Candice LeRae are just now getting out of the ring. So coming up next will be Bronson Reed and Tony Nese in a match just added for NXT Great American Bash this evening. AEW Dark results on the bottom for Fyter Fest as mentioned. They've only used the snake once though so far in AEW with Jake the Snake as Lance Archer's manager, as they did that a few weeks before Double or Nothing, as at Double or Nothing it was Cody versus Lance Archer for the TNT Championship. So they got Cody's wife Brandy Rhodes involved, Eden, as she was known in WWE as the ring announcer. Joey Janela doesn't know where the hell he's at right now. Lance Archer just throwing him all over God's creation. Jake the Snake brought out the snake on top of Brandy on a few Dynamites before. Might have actually been the Go Home show, to be honest with you, before Double or Nothing at the end of May. So Jake the Snake really helping out Lance Archer. And it seems to me they, with Archer, Brody Lee, Hangman, even as they do the close up on Lance Archer in the corner, looking in the camera on the top of the steel post, chopping Joey Janela, throwing them all around now. Jake the Snake just walking around, gives him the thumbs up. Archer, Hangman Adam Page, Brody Lee, Jack Swagger, Jake Hager, who lost to Cody last week for the TNT Championship as well, along with a few other big guys, but just talent as a whole, other than who's champion right now, with Moxley, Brian Cage thrown into that mix as well. With whoever's not champion, you know, the future's still bright because they're still a startup company. They got to build towards the future. Rome wasn't built in a day. So over time, they're going to build these characters and have themselves some homegrown talent. And yes, okay, people want to talk about ratings. NXT has won a few as of late, but in my eyes, I could care less about the ratings. I just want good professional wrestling from both WWE and AEW as we fade to black for AEW Fyter Fest. Lance Archer, Joey Janela, that'll continue when they return. NXT just now coming back from a commercial break in a match just recently added after the street fight that kicked things off this evening for Great American Bash Night 2. for WWE NXT, it'll be Bronson Reed and Tony Nese in singles competition. And now Cody Rhodes eating some hot wings, as that was a preview for the True TV hit show that Cody will, in fact, by the looks of it, be on sometime in the near future. So we'll get back to the action for AEW Fyter Fest, but Bronson Reed, Tony Nese, NXT Great American Bash. Bell rings, match underway. Bronson Reed, Tony Nese in singles competition. Lance Archer and Joey Janela as well for AEW Fyter Fest. Still to come though, Taz's major announcement and Bronson Reed, Tony Nese underway. Still a commercial for AEW Fyter Fest. Chat, questions, and comments always greatly appreciated. During the break, Lance Archer still going to town on Joey Janela at ringside. Just throwing him all over the place. As they're in Jacksonville at Daly's place. Sonny Kiss up on the ring apron. WWE South in Orlando at the WWE Performance Center. Janela with a right hand. Going for a clothesline. Hit him with a forearm though. Joey Janela, the bad boy himself, off the ropes. Another clothesline. Lance Archer standing still, not moving an inch. Jake the Snake, ringside as well in the corner. He brought his luggage this evening as well, so we'll see what happens there. Taz with a major announcement still to come for Fyter Fest Night 2 this evening. Janela just off the ropes. Clothesline, clothesline, clothesline. Lance Archer not moving at all. And Archer just walks 2 steps and Janela actually reverses. Was going to send Janela ringside. Still to come as well, Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. That looks to be the main event now of the evening, because AEW Fyter Fest kicked things off with the AEW World Tag Team Championship match once again. This week, Hangman and Omega versus Private Party, as they defeated the Best Friends and Private Party now in back-to-back weeks. Jake the Snake trying to motivate Lance Archer. Janela from one corner to the other with a right hand. Tony Nese with a cover on Bronson Reed, kick out at 2. Janela on the shoulders, super kick. Lance Archer now down on one knee. Don't see that very often. A running knee from Janela. And now Jake the Snake up on the ring apron. Has the ref's attention. And Janela going to go up top. And here comes Sonny Kiss as well off the top rope. Both hitting some high flying moves on Lance Archer. Seeing for a second there, roles were reversed as Jake the Snake was helping out Joey Janela rather than helping out Lance Archer. As Janela again. So we'll see how this turns out after the fact. As Lance Archer just put Janela through a table ringside, now covering the ring. 1, 2, 3. Lance Archer defeats Joey Janela tonight at Fyter Fest. Jake the Snake all smiles, and Jake the Snake's going to break out the snake, and Joey Janela is going to be visited by a reptile that he probably doesn't like. Bronson Reed, in the meantime, 1, 2, 3, defeats Tony Nese. So Bronson Reed could very well be someone high on NXT's radar right now as well. Lance Archer now looking in the close-up camera, top of the steel post in the corner. And then when they did this before, a few weeks later, WWE did the same thing with Braun Strowman, with Strowman, Miz, and Morrison before Backlash. Darby Allin video package now. Darby Allin cutting a promo as he is on the shelf with an injury. He's one as well, as talked about recently over the past few weeks. He's one as well that could very well become a champion in AEW when the time is right. I believe that's Travis Pastrana, if I'm not mistaken. And Darby Allin doing the coffin drop from about 25, 30 feet up, it looked like. Tony Schiavone now in the ring with a mic. Fight for the Fallen next week. I'll have live reactions, play-by-play of that as well. Hopefully, we won't have any disconnect and reconnect issues. And Taz has a bag and he has something in it. Taz's major announcement now. Moxley, Cage next week at Fight of the Fallen. And hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties. We were supposed to have Moxley Cage tonight in the main event. However, pushed back due to Moxley coming close to coronavirus. So now Fight for the Fallen next week. As mentioned last week and however many times this evening so far. As I know I am repeating myself, but due to technical difficulties, I don't know how this is going to turn out in the long run on playback. Killian Dane with Robert Stone, WWE's version of Tony Khan, throwing him all over the place backstage. Taz's major announcement is what? And Shotzi Blackheart
So, this is a championship that no promotion has ever recognized. But wrestling fans
Taz introducing a new championship belt.
recognize the respect for the man who holds this championship. Because the man who holds this championship is the baddest son of a bitch in wrestling.
Whoever holds that championship is the baddest son of a bitch in professional wrestling.
Not gonna go into Fight for the Fallen without a championship.
So Cage not going to go to Fight for the Fallen without a title. So Brian Cage is going to be the first ever FTW champion. So Taz's major announcement is introducing a new championship in AEW. Brian Cage is your FTW champion. Taz calling out John Moxley for Fight for the Fallen next week. the Wolverine, Brian Cage, your new AEW FTW champion. Maybe they'll have a champion versus champion winner-take-all match now next week as well. By the looks of it, that is, in fact, going to be the case. So, Taz's major announcement. Introducing a new championship in AEW. We'll see what the FTW championship will mean for AEW moving forward. If it'll Taz introducing the new AEW FTW championship. So, as mentioned, we'll see what all that will entail. Isaiah Swerve Scott, Johnny Gargano, though, coming up next for NXT Great American Bash. And we'll have to see what AEW does next, side by side. So Cody Rhodes' commercial for Hot Ones, the game show, eating the hot wings, that was surprising a fan, and then also trying to stomach some heat. NXT Great American Bash on limited commercials once again this evening, as they were last week as well, with the split screen commercials. AEW Fyter Fest still in a commercial break. Johnny Gargano, Isaiah Swerve Scott, they're coming up next. Taz introduces FTW World Title. As I get a notification about that. Taz introduces FTW World Title to AEW and crowns Brian Cage champion. So Taz's major announcement did, in fact, send shockwaves through the professional wrestling world, as Brian Cage is your FTW champion. Title that no company has ever recognized, but wrestling fans realize the respect associated with the championship. So the FTW World Championship, as we'll have an 8-man tag now with FTR, F the Rest, and the Young Bucks versus Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Brothers, who are making a return to AEW. Good to see them. They haven't been on AEW TV, other than the past few weeks, of course, since before the coronavirus hit. So the F the World Championship is, in fact, in AEW now. And, I mean, whoever they see as their top heel, top badass, single-wise, now Brian Cage is your inaugural champion because Taz gave him the title. Next week, it probably won't be a champion versus champion match. Moxley will win. Cage then will face off versus, say, Lance Archer or somebody. Whoever they think their top heel is, that is going, whoever that person is, that's going to be your FTW World Champion moving forward in AEW. So, FTR F the rest and FTW F the world in AEW. AEW, yes, as the Young Bucks make their appearance tonight for Fyter Fest in an 8-man tag match with FTR against Butcher and Blade and the Lucha Brothers. AEW creating some buzz, sending shockwaves through the professional wrestling world. This should be a damn good match. Gargano, Swerve Scott. All right, Gargano's gonna win. Bell rings, match underway. It's going to be the Young Bucks starting off against the Lucha Brothers. FTR Young Bucks, I would think, are going to win this. Eventually, the Lucha Brothers will be inserted into a AEW World Tag Team Championship opportunity into that picture. And come All Out, end of August, early September, we will get the Young Bucks and FTR, as they'll split up after this, I would think. And the Young Bucks are going to help put over FTR as one of their top tag teams in AEW. Tag made. Here comes Dax Harwood, Scott Dawson. Formerly known as the Revival in the WWE, now FTR F the rest in AEW. So FTR and the Lucha Brothers now kicking things off in the same man tag with FTR, the Young Bucks, Butcher and Blade, and the Lucha Brothers. Split screen for NXT, Gargano, Swerve Scott once again. Cover, kick out of 2 by Johnny Wrestling. Big forearm from Dax. Chop now as well. FTR and the Lucha Brothers now going back and forth. Off the ropes, big takedown. Leg drop. Tag made. Suck it. Off the top rope. A chop. Another tag made. And the perfect 10, Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard, who is wearing a mask, in the audience. Big chop. As they look on. They got to figure out what they're doing with him and Darby Allin once he does return. If Tessa came to AEW, Tully should cut ties with Spears and manage his own daughter, as Ric Flair has done with Charlotte over the years, and give Tessa the Charlotte experience, as Charlotte's been a 10, 12, 100-time champion in the WWE as of late. big chop from the Lucha Brothers. That's Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix working with Dax Harwood. Phoenix off the ropes. Clothesline, big clothesline. Back to the action for NXT Great American Bash as well. Gargano, Swerve Scott. Still going strong. Still to come though. Adam Cole, Keith Lee, champion versus champion. Winner take all. That'll be the main event of the Great American Bash this evening. We just saw Taz's major announcement. The FTW Championship is in AEW, as AEW says, F the world. And in a time like this, I mean, honestly, that's a good thing with everything that's been going on. Phoenix makes a tag. Here comes the Blade. Tag made, as it's the Young Bucks working against Butcher and Blade now. Double drop kick. Here comes the Butcher. Another double drop kick. Young Bucks and FTR stand tall right now. Butcher with one half of the Young Bucks on their shoulders. Blade with a power bomb. Cover 1, 2. Kick out at 2.5. FTR a little too late with the breakup. But the Jackson boys beat the count. Gargano, Swerve Scott. Penta now in for the Lucha Brothers. Crossbody off the ropes. Going to go for a pile driver. Here comes Ray Phoenix. Super kick. And then a DDT. Butcher with the cover, and then they completely stop. That was a total botch. 1, 2. Butcher thought he was legal. He wasn't. Penta was. A little confusion. Ray Phoenix now legal, making a tag in against the Young Bucks. Good tag team match so far. Gargano, Swerve Scott getting a little too long. Jesus Christ. Cover 1, 2, kick out from Ray Phoenix. Super kick into a suplex. And then a stomp. All hell's broken loose now. Everyone's all over the place. And AEW is going to do the same thing they did last week. Hashtags during the commercial break. Hashtags during the commercial break. What will it be this evening? Still waiting on that hashtag during this split screen commercial for AEW Fyter Fest. They did this 3 times, I do believe, last week. Once during the Cody Jake Hager match, once during the Tag Team Championship match, and then once during one of the other matches as well. That was an odd hashtag. A very, very odd hashtag. A bunch of letters. Tweeted it. Want to make sure here I spelled it right. Yeah, seems good. So split screen AEW commercial. Back to the action now. 8-man tag. FTR and the Young Bucks, Butcher and Blade, along with the returning Lucha Brothers. Blade in control of, that is Cash Wheeler of FTR, formerly known as Dash Wilder of the Revival in the WWE. Johnny Gargano defeats Isaiah Swerve Scott as well. Hashtag Fyter Fest, hashtag NXT GAB for Great American Bash. FTR tagging in the Young Bucks. Lucha Brothers make a tag as well. Young Bucks off the top rope. Young Bucks in control, drop kick through the ropes, taking out Butcher and Blade. Now in control, the Lucha Brothers back in the ring. Cover, no. Young Bucks gonna go up top, looks like. Hashtag AEW Dynamite as well when you share this on social media. A dive off the top of the steel post, taking out Butcher and Blade ringside. Young Bucks with a elbow drop now to Ray Phoenix of Lucha Brothers, kick out at 2.5. A replay of Johnny Gargano, Isaiah Swerve Scott at DDT. Cover 1, 2, 3 Gargano, your winner. And a match that was added just the other day. Phoenix catches himself in the ropes. Tag made now. Blade legal. And here comes Dax Harwood now as well. Elbow. Yes, Dax and the Blade are in fact legal, JR. DDT in the middle of the ring. I don't think Blade knows that Dax is legal. Now they're going to shake hands. No, here comes the Butcher. Butcher off the ropes, super kick from the Young Bucks and FTR. Here comes Ray Phoenix off the top rope with a drop kick. Phoenix off the ropes, gonna be caught into the Shatter Machine with the Young Bucks and FTR. 8-man tag continues. Dax gonna go for a pile driver. Here come the Young Bucks off the top rope. And Harwood's legal. He's going to make the cover now. He's got to make the cover. Cover. 1, 2, and drug out of the ring by Penta. So FTR and the Young Bucks helping each other out on both of their finishers. Gonna go for it once again here, it looks like. Tag made. Here comes Cat Wheeler. Another tag made. Young Bucks are legal. Off the top rope. Vertical superplex, elbow, swanton, cover, 1, 2, and another kick out, I do believe. Ref gets taken out in the meantime too, it looks like, but he gets right back up. Okay, so the match continues. Everyone is down and out. That was a good sequence though. Very good sequence. NXT Women's Championship on the line next week. Io Shirai and Tegan Nox after Nox won the Fatal 4-Way #1 contendership match last week. Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers going back and forth now with some right hands. Keith Lee warming up for his champion versus champion winner take all match versus Adam Cole later on tonight in the main event of NXT Great American Bash Night 2. Tail of the tape. Lee has a few inches and about 130 pounds on Adam Cole, baby. It'll be the undisputed Adam Cole versus limitless Keith Lee. Now the 6-man tag. 2 6-man tags tonight, an 8-man tag. With everyone being taken out now ringside. Jeez. And the Young Bucks money floating all around the entrance. Super kick from the Young Bucks to FTR by mistake as Penta moved out of the way. Lucha Brothers are going to pick up the win here for Lucha Brothers and Butcher and Blade. And now there's going to be tension with the Young Bucks and FTR after that super kick. Just what they wanted though. Penta 1, 2, 3. Lucha Brothers and the Butcher and Blade defeat the Young Bucks and FTR tonight at AEW Fyter Fest. They'll be talking about that super kick for the next month and a half. And at All Out, as thought, as mentioned earlier, we'll get Young Bucks and FTR in a tag team match. And the Lucha Brothers very well could become the new #1 contenders now for Hangman and Omega's AEW World Tag Team Championships, I would think. But we'll find out and see over the course of the next few weeks and months to come. 6-man tag for NXT Great American Bash about to kickstart as well. Good 8-man tag match. Very, very good 8-man tag. Everyone did the thing. Couple very, very good sequences as well. Now, who the hell is coming out of the... Okay, they're just helping hands cleaning up the Young Bucks. And now we'll reconnect. So Cody just lost to his opponent in the hot wing eating challenge, and his opponent won a few $100. So AEW heads to commercial. 6-man tag for NXT Great American Bash. So once again, sorry for any technical difficulties this evening. Trying to work out the kinks. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button. Share on social media. Chat questions and comments. Always greatly appreciated. hopefully, this will turn out. Hopefully, everything will be normal on the playback of this live reaction stream. It doesn't look like that'll be the case, though, unfortunately, which I'm a little disappointed in, but working out the kinks and the technical difficulties as it disconnects and I have to reconnect. Hopefully, goes out and it has to wait until I hit reconnect. So it's just what it is. It is what it is, as I like to say. So hopefully, as mentioned on the playback of this, I'll have to go back and watch the 2+ hour live stream here. Hopefully it'll turn out to be pretty good. But we'll have to find out and see. And be sure to tune in next week and a week from Sunday as well for Fight for the Fallen and Extreme Rules. Big Swole being issued a letter by, I believe, the doctor, the now new role model, Britt Baker. So we'll have this 6-man tag, it looks like, plus Mercedes Martinez, and then Adam Cole, Keith Lee. Still to come for AEW, the 6-man tag with the Dark Order and SCU, and Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. Nyla Rose, though, however, here first, going to be in action. Still don't know her opponent, but Nyla Rose in action next for AEW Fyter Fest. Yeah, I don't blame you, Taz. Taz trashes AEW Fyter Fest spoilers, along with the NXT Great American Bash spoilers, as both of these were pre-taped last week. Spoilers out, everyone thinks they know every fine detail that's going to happen, but however, not the case. After Taz debuted the FTW Championship and awarded it to Brian Cage. Tag made. Here come the Fashion Police. And yeah, Nyla Rose in a 2-on-1 handicap match now against a few jobbers. So yes, last week, the 3 hashtags that we had to use during AEW Fyter Fest: Fighter Nightmare for Cody Jake Hager, Fighter Private Party for the Private Party Santana Ortiz tag team match, and then AEW Last Call for the main event, which we saw Omega and Page defeat Best Friends. They then kicked off Fyter Fest Night 2 this evening and defeated Private Party. And then tonight's hashtag was a whole bunch of different letters. Hashtag FTRY, FTR for F the Rest, and then YB for Young Bucks, Butcher Blade, BL, but we have Lucha in the middle of that, followed by BB. Luchas, excuse me, followed by BB. So FTR, followed by YB for Young Bucks, FTR and Young Bucks in an 8-man tag versus Butcher and Blade and the Lucha Brothers. So FTR, Y, BLU, CHASBB. That was the hashtag a moment ago. And I would think we're going to get another one of those hashtags during Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. But we'll have to find out and see. Nyla Rose now cutting a promo. Actions speak louder than words. Put up or shut up. There's Sheeta in attendance. Penelope Ford as well. And Nyla Rose is now hiring a manager. She tells us to shut up. We're going to have to find out and wait. Who's going to be Nyla's manager? Seems like everybody in AEW now has a manager. And they all have something in common. Jake the Snake, Tully, Arn, Taz. Nyla wants a manager now. And Nyla Rose wants to become AEW Women's Champion once again. However, she's going to have to wait. So it seems like it'll be Nyla Rose and Sheeta once again for the title. Come all out, maybe even next week at Fight for the Fallen. I mean, hell, Penelope Ford has Kip Sabian, and Kip Sabian has Penelope Ford. Everyone in AEW, it seems like, has a manager. Because Cody even has his wife, Brandy Rose, who sometimes is on TV, sometimes isn't. Now here comes Brody Lee. I'm going to be talking to Boom Boom Colt Cabana. As he's backstage getting a massage. Drake Maverick off the ropes. Maverick was awarded a new NXT contract following his release mid-April. WWE also fired Heath Slater, but then just brought him back on Monday Night Raw this past week in a match against Drew McIntyre. We'll have to see if Colt Cabana is going to be good to go for the Dark Order SCU match that's coming up next, a six-man tag, head-to-head with another six-man tag, actually, that just ended in NXT for Great American Bash, as Colt Cabana's pretty bruised up on his left side. Here comes the Exalted One, Mr. Brody Lee, formerly known as Luke Harper in the WWE. I believe that's Evil Uno as well. The whole Dark Order is back. Everyone in the Dark Order has returned to AEW. And now here comes Colt Cabana acting as he's Brody Lee, and a Japanese sumo wrestler. So now a 6-man tag coming up next. AEW Fyter Fest. They'll head to a commercial break before that match officially begins. Drake Maverick's going to be in the Cruiserweight Championship picture, it looks like. But coming up next, it looks like Mercedes Martinez. And then, as both Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano are now backstage being interviewed.
Two huge victories. Candice, you defeated Mia Yim. Candice, you defeated Mia Yim. Candice, you defeated Mia Yim. And Johnny, you defeated Isaiah Scott. What's next for you?
So both Gargano and LeRae winners this evening. Mercedes Martinez and then Adam Cole Keith Lee, it looks like. 6-man tag, and then Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. And maybe a TNT Championship match. If not, we'll get a TNT Championship match, I would think, now next week at Fight for the Fallen, along with Moxley Cage for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And we'll have to see what they do with the FTW Championship as well.
Maybe you both don't forget. I think we have a few wrongs we need to make right.
NXT is back in less than 90 seconds.
Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, unfinished business. We'll see what that entails moving forward. Gargano says they got to go. They still got some fireworks to set off after this past 4th of July weekend. Hopefully everyone had a happy and safe 4th of July. NXT going to be back in 90 seconds, says Tom Phillips. So now probably about another minute away from returning. As The Miz will be hosting a new TV show debuting tomorrow night on the USA Network, as he'll cannonball coming off the diving board into the pool. Both AEW and NXT at commercial breaks. Didn't think I'd see that this evening. Commercial breaks at the same time. And no split screen, full commercial breaks at the same time. But NXT is probably going to be coming back here first.
Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle and nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
And I take that back. AEW is going to be the first one to come back. SCU. SoCal Uncensored. Daniels, Kazarian, Sky against the Dark Order. Now NXT makes her return. So now they're both back at the same time. Now Imperium without Walter. More times than usual this evening. So now it seems like Mercedes Martinez match is coming up next. And then we'll have Adam Cole Keith Lee. And knock on wood, along with freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and the champion Chris Jericho. Hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties during that. I get it is buffering. It's been doing this all night. As it's good for quite a while, and then it does this back to back to back. So Mercedes Martinez in action now on NXT Great American Bash. 6-man tag, Dark Order, and SCU. How is everyone doing? Thank you for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button, share on social media, hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated as well. Both NXT this evening and Fyter Fest as well. Said it last week, I thought night 2 tonight was going to be better just because of the bigger, better matches. I think that so far has stood the test of time. I do believe so far both NXT and AEW this evening are better than what they were last week for night 1. Except for my stream, with it being all over the place, with the buffering. I myself, though, feel like tonight's just a better night for wrestling than what it was last week. On my end and for NXT and AEW, as mentioned, I do believe Bash and Fyter Fest are better tonight than what they were last week. So thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you'll tune in next Wednesday night as well for Fight for the Fallen and NXT, as we'll have Io Shirai and Tegan Nox now for the AEW, or excuse me, the WWE Women's Championship. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line next week as well for the Fallen. John Moxley and Brian Cage, as Brian Cage is now your new FTW champion as well. And then a week from Sunday, Horror Show at Extreme Rules. I'll have live reactions play of that as well. Keep an eye out for preview predictions of for Extreme Rules as well. So Mercedes Martinez gonna win this. Don't honestly know who's gonna win, even though I know what I said in my predictions for Fyter Fest a few weeks ago. Honestly don't know who's gonna win this Dark Order SCU 6-man tag. Brody Lee trying to get Colt Cabana motivated. And we actually have to tweet at AE Wrestling. Tweet at All Elite Wrestling when we have to tweet at AE Wrestling for the upcoming hashtag during the 6-man. And hashtag is on the way. I would think it's going to be something along the lines of Dark Order and SCU, because the hashtags have been they've revolved around whoever's in the respective matches. 3 last week, now 3 tonight. Mercedes Martinez, your winner as well. So coming up next, NXT Great American Bash, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, champion versus champion, winner take all. Come on, hashtag, where you at? Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, video package as well. And now next week on NXT, it'll be Damian Priest and Cameron Grimes in singles competition. Or the hashtag might have Boom Boom in it though too, with Colt Cabana in the match. So Punishment Martinez, Trevor Lee next week on NXT. Mick Foley now weighing in. So we had Mark Henry, Drew McIntyre, and Mick Foley weigh in for the Adam Cole Keith Lee. There we go. That one was an easier hashtag this time out. Hashtag Fyter SCUDO. Hashtag Fyter Scudo for SCU and Dark Order. And up next, NXT Great American Bash, champion versus champion, winner take all. It'll be Adam Cole, baby, and Limitless Keith Lee. Be sure to vote on the question of the day poll on Facebook and Twitter. Let me know in the comments below as well who you have winning this champion versus champion winner take all match coming up next for both the NXT and NXT North American Championship. Brody Lee of the Dark Order, legal, makes a tag though to Stu Grayson. It's Stu Grayson versus Scorpio Sky of SCU. Colt Boom Boom Cabana, now legal, tagging in. And the Dark Order remains in the corner for the 3 competitors in the match, and then the rest at the top of the stage where the entrance is located at. Colt just got kicked in the side where he's pretty bruised up, pretty banged up. And then just got a neck breaker hit on him as well by Scorpio Sky before he makes a tag to Brody Lee. It's now Brody Lee, Frankie Kazarian, who now once again has hair. Kazarian going to town on Brody Lee. Clothesline misses. Drop kick sends Brody Lee into the ropes. DDT for Kazarian. So Dark Order SCU 6-man tag continues next week on NXT. Io Shirai, Tegan Nox for the Women's Championship, along with Damian Priest and Cameron Grimes now as well. And then for AEW, Fight for the Fallen, Jon Moxley and Brian Cage, and then I would assume a TNT Championship match as well. Big boot from Brody Lee, super kick as well. Here comes the Limitless Keith Lee. All eyes are going to be on this and Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho. What a time to be alive as a professional wrestling fan. We're going to bask in the glory of Keith Lee as he is the first to make his appearance tonight at Great American Bash. Chills. See. 1, 2, 3. Colt Cabana picks up the win for Dark Order over SCU. So Dark Order defeats SoCal Uncensored at Fyter Fest. Shock the system. And now it's going to be Brody Lee, Colt Cabana feuding, I would think. Here comes the NXT champion now, and Adam Cole. Shock the system. Adam Cole has been NXT champion for over 400 days. Last June, NXT TakeOver 25. Became NXT champion for the first time ever. Next week live, AEW Fight for the Fallen. It'll be Jon Moxley and Brian Cage for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And I know I'm having technical difficulties. Bear with me. AEW Fight for the Fallen, Cody's Open Challenge for the TNT Championship as well next week live. Lucha Brothers FTR next week as well. That should be a good match. So AEW previewing some matches for Fyter versus Jurassic Express. Boom! Jon Moxley, Brian Cage, AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Adam Cole, baby. It's not the same without fans. It's not the same without fans. But, hey, it's how everything's been. It is what it is. At least we still have it on. We haven't had baseball, basketball, hockey in 4 months. But by the end of the month, all three will be making a return. Hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully, football will be returning next month as well. Britt Baker being attacked. And it looks like she just broke her nose. So Adam Cole and Britt Baker on TV at the same time for NXT and AEW. Keith Lee being introduced as the NXT champion. He's held this title since the beginning of the year. And Adam Cole now being introduced. And this is champion versus champion, winner take all. Adam Cole, Keith Lee. Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho coming up next as well to main event night 2 of Fyter Fest. AEW just announced a few matches for Fight for the Fallen next week as well, as did WWE for NXT a week from tonight. NXT North American Championship, winner take all. Who you got? Let me know. Bell rings, match underway. Everyone is glued in to hashtag NXT GAB, hashtag AEW Fyter Fest. Uninterrupted main event, no commercials break. They're going to let this play through. Cole, with it, which is about the right amount of time. Good to see they are going to give this match some time. Uninterrupted, no commercials break, says Tom Phillips. Cole still has Lee in a headlock. Adam Cole telling Keith Lee he's messing with the wrong guy.
But what is playing a factor is that crushing grip from Keith Lee. Cole is not able to get away.
Keith Lee now working the left hand, left wrist of Adam Cole in this winner take all. Cole trying to reach for the ropes. Keith Lee picking him up. Keith Lee through the barricade, taking out a section of the plexiglass as Keith Lee went full-blown four-alarm and Adam Cole moved out of the way. Cole rolls into the ring, breaks the count, now using the steel steps here this evening as a weapon in this winner take all. Not picking him up by any means, just hitting Keith Lee's head off the top of the steel steps. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy in the ring. Here comes the champion Chris Jericho. The champion Chris Jericho getting all the pyro this evening as he walks to the ring alongside Santana and Ortiz, who have a few gallons of freshly squeezed orange juice. Jericho with his baseball bat, as he's the Sting, it looks like, of AEW right now. It'll be freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and Le Champion Chris Jericho. As mentioned earlier, someone's either going to be drinking a lot of a little bit of the bubbly, or somebody's going to be drinking a lot of a little bit of orange juice. Judas in, Judas in. Cole, the cover, kick out of one by Keith Lee. This right now, arguably, having both of these on at the same time since October of last year, arguably these are the two best main events happening, going on at the same time for both AEW and NXT. Especially when one's a winner-take-all champion versus champion match, and everything that's been in the story of Jericho and Orange Cassidy. Bell rings match underway there as well. This match will have a little less time. However, AEW will have the first ever AEW Puppy Battle Royal on YouTube following Fyter Fest this evening, before Fight for the Fallen next week, as Orange Cassidy puts his hands in his pockets, off the ropes. Jericho doesn't know which way to go. Drop kick from Orange Cassidy, a kip up, and Jericho has to reevaluate now with Santana and Ortiz ringside. Adam Cole cover on Keith Lee. 1, 2, and a kick out. Cassidy and Jericho working ringside. Jericho into the ring apron. Into the barricade as well. Adam Cole exposing, nope. Keith Lee grabs his left hand. Adam Cole's about ready to expose the right knee, but Keith Lee now with some left hand and left forearms to Adam Cole. Keith Lee off the ropes, clothesline misses. Cole the big boot. Keith Lee picks up Adam Cole, power slam in the middle of the ring. Cover, 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. Le Champion Jericho has Orange Cassidy in a submission. Has him in the sharpshooter in the middle of the ring. Orange Cassidy now reaching for the bottom rope. Does successfully grab the bottom rope. Rope break. Match continues. Santana Ortiz now the ringside as they look into the camera. Hit Orange Cassidy into the back with a weapon of some sorts. Jericho walking around, celebrating. Cover, 1, kick out. Aubrey Edwards, your official referee. Keith Lee gonna go up top, it looks like. Keith Lee gonna go up to the top rope. Here comes Adam Cole, super kick to the back of the left thigh. And Keith Lee in some pain now after that backstabber in the corner off the middle rope. Cole the cover, 1, and Keith Lee kicks out of that at 2. Cole goes flying into the ropes. Just noticed now as well, I don't know honestly if now if you do know, let me know in the comments below, but the ropes last week, I don't think they were red, white, blue. I don't even think they were red, white, and blue all night up until the start of this match. Now that I just noticed that, but I could be wrong. Shot from Jericho in the corner. Throwing him around now. Keith Lee picking up Adam Cole. Vertical suplex off the middle rope, it looked like. NXT chance, Keith Lee chance. Holy shit. Keith Lee going for a cover. 1, 2, kick out by Adam Cole. Quick roll up for Jericho, it looked like. And now quick roll up for Orange Cassidy, both kick out at 2. Yeah, off the middle rope in the corner. With more of a Samoan drop than a vertical suplex. But nonetheless, Keith Lee in control of Adam Cole right now in this winner take all. Jericho winks to the camera. High five to Santana and Ortiz. AEW is going to take a commercial break. No? Yes. Split screen commercial break. And now as well, looks like we'll be getting another hashtag.
champion, you know how to get the job done in every situation, every scenario. You are always aware. Stop imagining.
Waiting the third and final hashtag for AEW Fyter Fest this evening. 6 hashtags in 2 weeks for Fyter Fest during 6 different matches as Adam Cole, Keith Lee continues on. Big power slam from Lee. Cover 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. This is the Great American Bash main event this evening. Adam Cole, Keith Lee, champion versus champion, winner take all. The champion Chris Jericho, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, awaiting that third and final hashtag. We will preview NXT for next week along with AEW Fyter Fest as well, so stay tuned. We'll also get a glimpse of the first ever AEW Puppy Battle Royal as well. Keith Lee off the ropes with a moonsault, cover, kick out at 2 by Adam Cole once again.
You see the pain on Adam Cole's face shuddering. Take a look at this flurry of offense earlier in the match. To Adam Cole, sending him flying across the ring.
And then there's a massive spine buster by Keith Lee. But then a second attempt at this moonsault. Keith Lee got all of it on the NXT champion Adam Cole. But credit to Cole.
That was a nice, simple hashtag as well. Hashtag Orange Le Champion. Orange Le Champion. So tonight we had a hashtag for the FTR, Young Bucks, Butcher and Blade, Lucha Brothers match along with SCU Dark Order, now Orange Le Champion, as we're back to the action. For Fyter Fest and a commercial-free main event for Adam Cole, Keith Lee, champion versus champion, winner take all. Super kick from Cole. Another super kick to both knees. Cole off the ropes with a running knee to the back of the head. Adam Cole with the cover, 1, 2, and Keith Lee kicks out. A few have kicked out of that maneuver there, Tom Phillips, but not many. Keith Lee just added his name to the list. Keith Lee chants. Adam Cole off the ropes once again. Big clothesline from Keith Lee. Cole lands right on his head. Probably about another 5 minutes, I'd say, for both of these matches before they go home, and unless there's going to be overrun, before they go home and call it quits for the night before both these matches end, with someone winning between Jericho and Orange Cassidy. Jericho with a pin and a kick out at 2, and then either Adam Cole or Keith Lee becoming a double champion. Keith Lee kicks out once again. Adam Cole cannot believe it. Cole has used both of his finishers. Keith Lee has kicked out of both of them. And Orange Cassidy going to town on Chris Jericho in the corner. Big forearm. Enziguri from Orange Cassidy. Hands in the pocket. Oh! Very, very strong kicks to the legs of Chris Jericho from freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, ending with a super kick cover. 1, 2, kick out by Jericho. And Keith Lee just kicked out once again, and Adam Cole cannot believe it. What else does Adam Cole have left? What else does Adam Cole, baby, have left? He'll retain his NXT Championship and become NXT North American Champion once again if he can win. Now he's exposing that right knee brace. Running knee. Right to the back of the head. Cole's going to go for it again, though. This time around, Keith Lee's going to get up and power slam him and vertical suplex him, and that'll be it looks like, probably. Or Cole's going to go up top now. Knee from the top rope. Keith Lee down and out, middle of the ring. Cole telling him to get up. The title is mine. Keith Lee reverses. Keith Lee powerbombed Adam Cole. Keith Lee rolls him over. Keith Lee now going to go for a back body drop. The power slam. Keith Lee cover on Adam Cole. 1, 2, 3. Keith Lee is your NXT and NXT North American Champion. As we are now basking in the glory of limitless Keith Lee. Who's that champ I see? Oh, wait a minute. It's a rhetorical question. Because we all know the answer now. Keith Lee is your new NXT and NXT North American Champion. Keith Lee is a double champion, defeating Adam Cole in the main event of Great American Bash this evening. Keith Lee is done trying. Adam Cole, he could have tried a little bit better this evening. But Keith Lee's done trying. He's your first ever double champion in NXT history. Keith Lee is your new NXT champion as he retains his NXT North American Championship in this champion versus champion, winner take all main event of NXT Great American Bash. Keith Lee defeats Adam Cole as we see some replays. A good match. A very, very good match. About a 20-minute match, as thought, once this started, and they said commercial free. Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho still going strong in the main event of Fyter Fest Night 2. Adam Cole could have tried a little bit better. Gave it all he got. Gave it all he had, though. Keith Lee just kept kicking out and kicking out and kicking out, and Keith Lee with a power slam, or a power bomb, and then a power slam, and a 1, 2, 3, Keith Lee, your new NXT and NXT North American champion. As they go old school for Great American Bash with the confetti. Keith Lee stands tall. Ha ha ha. Look at that though. There's Karrion Kross and Scarlett looking on from afar. And it'll be Keith Lee, Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship, I would think. As they'll have Keith Lee just drop the NXT North American title. And I'll get more into that in a minute. As I have notes here, was planning on talking about it, and that looks to be the direction they're moving towards. As Karrion Kross looks on. NXT has turned into NX Lee. As Keith Lee is your new NXT and NXT North American champion. Once again, who is he? Who's that champ we now have in NXT? Rhetorical question. His name is Keith Lee. Keith Lee is your NXT North American champion. The first ever double champ in NXT history. Congratulations to Keith Lee. We'll see what the future holds now for Adam Cole. However, though, I've been saying since the beginning of the year, it's been the demise of the Undisputed Era. That is now officially complete, as Keith Lee actually defeated Roderick Strong to become NXT North American champion. And then Fish and O'Reilly dropped the tag team titles. Imperium, they are your NXT tag team champions. We'll see what they do with those moving forward. Now come next week on NXT, as they'll be head-to-head with AEW Fight for the Fallen. NXT has advertised for next week Io Shirai, Tegan Nox, NXT Women's Championship, along with Damian Priest, Punishment Martinez, against Cameron Grimes, Trevor Lee. Big Dog joining us just in time for the ending of AEW Fyter Fest, along with the start of the first ever AEW Puppy Battle Royal. Chris Jericho defeats Orange Cassidy, and now Jericho gonna be drinking in a little bit of the bubbly, celebrating his win over freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy in the main event of night 2 of Fyter Fest this evening. Jericho could very well be a #1 contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, as they advertise Jon Moxley, Brian Cage for Fight for the Fallen next week. We'll go over that card coming up shortly, so stay tuned. We're now going to head on over to the AEW YouTube channel for the first ever AEW World premiere of the first ever AEW Puppy Battle Royal. And thank you for your continued support, and thank you for tuning in this evening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Pull up YouTube. Pull up AEW. All Elite Wrestling. And they should be going live here. There we go. Premiering now, the AEW Puppy Battle Royal. Yeah, the Puppy Bowl of wrestling. Last puppy in the ring at the end wins the Puppy Battle Royal. 2 puppies in the ring. And then more going to enter at random. There's Pharaoh. Pharaoh's the referee. Pharaoh is the referee. And now, this looks to be Sheeta's puppy. Okay, so the dogs are named after the superstars in AEW. So Sheeta gonna start things off for the Puppy Battle Royal. So it's Sheeta and Nyla Rose in the Puppy Battle Royal. We'll see how long this goes on for. This is on AEW's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. The links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Once again, share on social media. Hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE. Chat questions and comments. Always greatly appreciated. We'll recap what just took place. And two puppies will start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now here comes Penelope Ford. So we went from 2 to 3 just like that. And whatever dog is the last one left will in fact win. I do believe that's one of those WWE referee toys, the plush toys. I believe that's a WWE official one, if I'm not mistaken. There's some dog toys there as well. And the one dog just jumped, and he's eliminated. He eliminated himself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who's next? And the crowd loves this. It's Brandy Rhodes. So Brandy Rhodes now in the Puppy Battle Royal. I wonder if the big dog, wink wink, is going to win this. The fans are going nuts for the Puppy Battle Royal. And we'll preview Fight for the Fallen coming up shortly. So stay tuned. But we got 3 dogs in the ring. The one's with the ref toy now, ripping it all to shreds. And I believe Sheeta was eliminated. And now that's it. This is all it is. 4 women in the women's Puppy Battle Royal. Penelope Ford wins it. Only 4 puppies? Okay, this might be like a 5, 10 minute, 15 minute show. There's actually some puppies. And not Jerry Lawler's type of puppies. These are actual dogs, puppy dogs. To adopt, volunteer, or donate, yes, I would highly recommend adopting. Adopt, don't shop, as they like to say. Big dog, come here. Everybody. What's up? Look at the Puppy Battle Royal. The Puppy Bowl of Wrestling. Yeah, what are you doing? Say, my birthday's on Saturday. Yeah, tell everybody your birthday's coming up. How old you gonna be? You're gonna be 5, aren't you? Yeah, you're gonna be 5 years old. You wanna see the puppies? Look at the Puppy Battle. See the Puppy Battle Royal, there's MJF. Yeah. What are you doing, buddy? Huh? Yeah. I love you. You know that? Yeah. It'll be MJF and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy kicking things off for the Puppy Battle Royal. Have a kiss? No? And Orange Cassidy is eating MJF's food. As dogs obviously sometimes like to eat other dogs' food. So we have 2 Puppy Battle Royals. 1 women's, 1 men's. And now they're attacking the official referee toy, not Pharaoh. There is Pharaoh, though. Look at Pharaoh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who's next? Oh, that's Moxley. John Moxley is in the Puppy Battle Royal. What are you doing? Huh? What's up? We'll go outside in a second. Yeah, we'll Go outside in a second. Tony Schiavone says this puppy battle royal tonight as they go to split screen commercial on YouTube. This is better than anything he's ever called since 2000. So basically since WCW. Don't bite, huh? Look. Look in the camera. See? You're on TV. Actually YouTube, but same thing. What are you doing? Huh? Yeah. What's up? I feel good. Lay down. Puppy Battle Royal continues. However, just moments ago, as mentioned, Chris Jericho defeated Orange Cassidy. Keith Lee is your new NXT and NXT North American champion. We'll see what the future holds for Adam Cole. Demise of the Undisputed Era, as talked about. What are you doing? Look. Look at the puppy battle. It's back on. Look. And we have a winner. Who is it? Who in the world would name their dog MJF? But MJF just won the Puppy Battle Royal. See the Puppy Battle Royal? See the puppy dogs? See the puppies? You normally don't watch stuff like this, do you? No. Always try to get you to watch the Puppy Bowl, but you never do. No. So that's it for the first ever AEW Puppy Battle Royal, looks like. And yeah, that's it. It was an AEW exclusive. And now that that's over, we can somewhat recap what happened this evening for Fyter Fest and Great American Bash. But, what are you doing? Come here. Come here. What are you doing? Huh? As talked about, Jericho just defeated Orange Cassidy. And now, you know, yeah, very well, Jericho could become the new #1 contender for Moxley's AEW World Heavyweight Championship after Fight for the Fallen next week for All Out, end of August, early September. Because Brian Cage is your new and first ever AEW FTW champion. So we'll see what happens with that. I still think, though, that Omega and Page as a tag team will break up. And we will get a singles match between the two of those superstars at All Out. And then whoever wins that will become the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. But obviously, yes, from now until then, a lot to figure out. Because next week at Fight for the Fallen, the Elite will take on Jurassic Express. We'll take a look at, the rest of the card for Fight for the Fallen coming up shortly. But this evening at Great American Bash and Fyter Fest, Butcher and the Blade defeated, along with the Lucha Brothers, the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Brothers defeated FTR and the Young Bucks. Nyla Rose also won her match. Lance Archer defeated Joey Janela. Colt Cabana picked up the win for the Dark Order over SCU. And then Jericho with the win over Orange Cassidy once again as well. Now next week, at Fight for the Fallen, in the main event of that show, Jon Moxley will defend his AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Brian Cage, as Brian Cage is now your new and first ever AEW FTW F the World Champion. That was Taz's major announcement this evening. NXT Great American Bash. Well, first, we had the AEW Puppy Battle Royal just come to an end, as we saw two puppies win those. However, NXT Great American Bash We had Johnny Gargano defeat Isaiah Swerve Scott. Mercedes Martinez also won her match. The 6-man tag, both 6-man tags and 8-man tag match this evening, all were spectacular. Candice LeRae defeated Mia Yim as well in the opening street fight that kicked off NXT Great American Bash this evening. And then Keith Lee once again is your new NXT and NXT North American champion after he defeated Adam Cole, Bebe. And as mentioned, the demise of the Undisputed Era, Keith Lee defeated Roderick Strong, Imperium defeated Fish and O'Reilly. Keith Lee still your NXT North American champion, even after defeating Adam Cole tonight. Imperium still your NXT Tag Team champs. We'll see what they do with those moving forward, as mentioned next week on NXT. We'll get Damian Priest and Cameron Grimes, along with Io Shirai, Tegan Nox, Women's Championship, on the line. And then Adam Cole losing tonight. So the demise of the Undisputed Era is complete. We very well, sometime soon, don't know when. Could be, Friday Night SmackDown, maybe next week on Raw, Monday Night Raw, or maybe even, Friday Night SmackDowns or Monday Night Raws in the upcoming weeks. But I would think if the Undisputed Era are, in fact, going to be coming up to the main roster, it's going to be at either Extreme Rules or SummerSlam. But Adam Cole could very well get an NXT Championship rematch, say next week or, in the next couple weeks, so we'll see what the future holds for Adam Cole. But I would think the Undisputed Era is going to be coming up to the main roster sometime soon. It's been a long time coming, especially with Adam Cole's contract coming to an end, even though he has re-signed reportedly. Adam Cole, if he does leave NXT, he's obviously leave WWE as a whole in general, he's going to be the hottest, above Tessa Blanchard right now, hottest free agent in all professional wrestling. And then you would think he'd be going to AEW to align himself with his girlfriend and the Doctor, the new role model of AEW, and Britt Baker. So, only time's going to tell, but I would think the Undisputed Era, with Cole losing, they really haven't done anything with Fish and O'Reilly, along with Strong, even though Strong defeated, Strong faced off against Dexter Lumis and lost to the Lurker last week during night one of the Great American Bash. They really haven't done anything with him. And Cole's been, just floating around as NXT champion. His 400-plus day reign now comes to an end, losing to Keith Lee in the main event of NXT Great American Bash this evening in the champion versus champion winner-take-all main event that Keith Lee won and is now, once again, your new NXT and NXT North American champion. So I would think, because they teased it with Karrion Kross looking on from afar, up above, after Keith Lee won, and the confetti's falling, old school Great American Bash style, the pyro going off as well, that it's going to be Keith Lee Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. As once thought, Adam Cole Karrion Kross be the one to go over, and then Cole and the Undisputed Era come up to the main roster. Then at that point, that's not going to be the case now, it doesn't look like. It'll be Karrion Kross, Keith Lee for the NXT Championship, and then Keith Lee, even with, they could have him defend both titles, which, wouldn't be a bad idea, but I would think Keith Lee's just going to flat out drop the NXT North American Championship, because NXT has a ton of talent, okay? You have Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes next week on NXT. Whoever wins that could very well be inserted into a triple threat fatal four, where they like to do those type of matches with NXT Championship, NXT North American Championship, as of late, at least when Keith Lee was champion. Well, still is, technically. But you have Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes for the NXT North American Championship, potentially. But the three that I'm looking at are Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. Especially with Gargano and Candice LeRae saying they have unfinished business. Maybe Keith Lee puts over Gargano as NXT North American Champion, and then they revisit Ciampa, Gargano, and then you throw in Finn Balor as well, because Balor's been putting over a lot of talent as of late. But in the meantime, he's been winning matches, so he deserves a championship opportunity of some sorts. whether it be an NXT North American or NXT Championship match. Beats me. We'll find out and see. But I would think it's going to be a triple threat with Finn Balor, Ciampa, Gargano eventually at some point down the road. Or maybe Balor goes off and, does something else. Maybe they bring him back up to the main roster. But it's going to be Ciampa Gargano for the NXT North American Championship, I would think, moving forward. With Finn Balor in the mix, along with Damian Priest and Cameron Grimes, long story short. And then we'll see what they do with Velveteen Dream as well, as he could be inserted into any of those storylines. Maybe Dream and Keith Lee for the NXT North American title, and then, you go on down the line from there. But only time's going to tell. But after Keith Lee defeated Adam Cole tonight, Karrion Kross looking on from afar up above, it's going to be Keith Lee, Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship at the next NXT TakeOver event or next NXT TV special with all the circumstances, with how their programming has been the past few months. So, future is very, very bright for both AEW and the WWE, of course, as always. But next week, AEW will have Fight for the Fallen. We'll have Moxley and Brian Cage for the title there. Once again, I'll go over the match card here in a few short seconds. But a week from Saturday, TNA will also have Slammiversary. And then a week from Sunday, WWE will have the horror show at Extreme Rules. I will have preview predictions for that, so be sure to keep an eye out for those, along with live reactions, play-by-play of the horror show at Extreme Rules, live right here on YouTube a week from Sunday, July the 19th, as we'll see Drew McIntyre defend his WWE Championship against a show-off Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, now in a eye for an eye match, even though AEW already ran that back in February. Apollo Crews will put his United States Championship on the line against MVP. And then we're also going to go down the swamp for the first ever Wyatt family swamp fight match with the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Before we'll get Bray Wyatt as the Fiend challenge for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam against Braun Strowman. So that's AEW Fyter Fest and NXT Great American Bash. Both weeks and both programs, both companies, all the programming was good. However, as mentioned earlier tonight, I thought tonight's night 2 of Fyter Fest and Great American Bash were the better of the 2 weeks, with the bigger and better matches, especially when you have Adam Cole and Keith Lee in a champion versus champion winner take all main event that Keith Lee won and is now once again your new NXT and NXT North American champion. Next week at AEW Fight for the Fallen, as I pull the card up for this event next week, they announced a few matches during Fyter Fest Night 2 this evening. We'll see if they add any more. That'll be main evented by Jon Moxley and Brian Cage for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. We'll see if that turns into a champion versus champion match as well, as Moxley's your AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and now Brian Cage is your AEW FTW Champion. Cody Rhodes will also put his TNT Championship on the line in an open challenge. FTR, F the Rest, formerly known as the Revival in the WWE, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, will take on the Lucha Brothers. And then it'll also be the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. We also have a few more notifications here as Keith Lee becomes double champion. The first ever NXT and NXT North American champion at the same time in NXT history. There's a spoiler out. I really normally don't like to read these or don't like to see them in general, but a spoiler for Cody's open challenge next week for the TNT Championship. And it looks like that's going to be awarded to Sonny Kiss. But obviously, things can change. So next week, AEW Fight for the Fallen, it'll be Cody and Sonny Kiss. So they said, we'll have to find out and see. As mentioned, I thought both weeks of both AEW Fyter Fest and WWE NXT Great American Bash were spectacular, were great. However, a bit better. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of both shows, both weeks, last week and tonight. And thank you once again for tuning in and watching my live reactions play-by-play. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday night as well for AEW Fight for the Fallen and WWE NXT, along with keeping an eye out for my WWE Extreme Rules preview predictions, the horror show at Extreme Rules this year in 2020, along with live reactions play-by-play of the horror show at Extreme Rules a week from Sunday, July the 19th. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. As always, links in the description below. Sorry for any technical difficulties this evening. I know it's been buffering all night, disconnecting. I have to reconnect. We'll see how it turns out in the long run here once this is officially said and done with. And hopefully the playback of this, once you do watch the playback of it, hopefully, knock on wood, you will. Hopefully the playback will be just perfectly fine, normal as can be. However, though, I don't see that being the case. I don't see that happening with how it was tonight. So, yeah, AEW Fyter Fest 2020, WWE NXT Great American Bash 2020 now officially in the books. We'll see what the next WWE NXT TV special is, if they do run a TakeOver SummerSlam weekend, August 22nd, August 23rd. All of preview predictions for SummerSlam as well, along with live reactions, so be sure to tune in a month and a half from now. And then AEW is going to run Fight for the Fallen next Wednesday night. I'll have live reactions once again, so be sure to tune in. And then they'll have All Out. We'll see what directions both companies move towards and all the storylines for titles or not, as it's a damn good time to be a professional wrestling fan. So, and I think we've known that for quite a while, but as of late, since late last year, especially on Wednesday nights with AEW and NXT, as AEW had Fyter Fest booked for July 1st and July the 8th. WWE counter programs with bringing back the Great American Bash, and I think it just made for better TV for both companies. And I thought both shows were great both weeks, but both shows tonight during night 2 I thought were a tad bit better once again. So thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. As always, links in the description below. Chris Jericho defeated Orange Cassidy. Omega and Paige, still your AEW World Tag Team Champions. Cody's going to have an open challenge next week for the TNT Championship. We'll finally get Jon Moxley, Brian Cage at Fight for the Fallen next week as well. Taz's major announcement was, in fact, introducing the world to the AEW FTW the World Championship that is now being held by Brian Cage. Brian Cage is your FTW champion. And then Keith Lee, Limitless Keith Lee, defeated Adam Cole, baby, to become the first ever NXT and NXT North American champion in the main event of NXT Great American Bash. Keith Lee is your winner of the champion versus champion winner take all NXT Great American Bash main event. Keith Lee's Limitless Keith Lee. Congratulations, Keith Lee. You are a double champion, and it looks like Keith Lee will be defending against Karrion Kross sometime soon. And then, as mentioned with the NXT North American Championship, I think flat out he's just going to drop it, say next week or in the upcoming weeks, and it'll be Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, along with Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes in the mix as well for that championship. So, Keith Lee, your new NXT and NXT North American champion.